Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about my fall favorites, aka my September and October favorites, because I did not do a September favorites video. I didn't even wear makeup for half of the month, so I decided to skip it during the month of September. So here we are, we're going to do a combined one. So everything I tried in the past few months, which I have not had time to wear for a few days or weeks. It feels like most of what I've been doing for the past few months is reviewing eyeshadow palettes. So there are quite a few palettes in here that we will talk about. I apologize, but you know, it's mostly what's been launching. I feel like I have to touch back on them because a lot of them are so amazing. Definitely the best palettes that have launched this year, I think launched throughout the past couple of months. And even though I feel this might be a little bit repetitive, I just have to talk about them. I'm going to start not with a palette though, but with blushes, and these instantly became favorites. I'm talking about the Gucci blushes. I love the formula of these so much. They are so creamy. The pigment is perfectly blendable. I have not stopped wearing them since I first tried them. In particular, my favorite shade is 04 Bright Coral. It is just the perfect corally peachy shade to wear. It matches so many different eye looks. It's subtle, but you can build it up to be a little bit more potent. Incredible formula. The packaging of the Gucci blushes is just phenomenal. I love how luxurious it feels. I immediately had to put these in my Sephora recommendations videos because they are the best blushes that have come out this year. I feel like the formula of these is very similar to one of my favorite blush formulas of all time, which are the Hermes blushes, and those are so expensive I barely talk about them. But I am here to tell you that I like this blush formula even more. Forgive me, mother. Even more than the Pat McGrath blushes. And I love the Pat McGrath blush formula, but these are just a little bit more creamy, a little bit less powdery. They are just fantastic. I love them. Let's move on to another favorite, and it's been a while since I reviewed this one, but since I didn't do a favorites video in September, I just had to include it in this one. The Harry Potter and ColourPop eyeshadow palette is definitely a favorite of mine. I just love that ColourPop did this collection. I love the packaging of everything. Everything feels and looks magical. And my favorite thing about this palette is that even though it does represent Harry Potter, you have reds, you have yellows, you have greens, you have blues, right? But they also put a whole bunch of really nice neutral wearable shades in this palette to go along with those shades. I feel like it's a perfect harmony of something that you can use on a daily basis, something that you can also use to go out if you want a little bit more fun makeup, and also a perfect balance of a Harry Potter theme with makeup that is wearable and that doesn't feel customary. I'm obsessed with Harry Potter, and I think that they did a really fantastic job on the packaging of this, so I might be a little bit biased, but I also feel like this would be a wonderful Christmas present. I hope that this is still available on the ColourPop website. If it's still available, I do highly recommend it. It's just such a fun palette and such a fantastic theme. I love it. Also, if you missed the video where I reviewed this Harry Potter and ColourPop collection, I highly recommend that you check it out. I tried absolutely everything that came along with this palette. I bought the PR box for myself and I have no regrets. It was just magical. Moving on to the next product, I have tried a total of 6 cheek palettes that have come out throughout the fall season, and I have one that has definitely become a favorite. This is the palette that I'm wearing today on my face for bronzer, for blush, and for highlighter, and I am of course talking about the Hourglass Elephant palette. This is just such a fantastic palette. My only complaint is that I wish the blushes were a little bit further away from each other as far as the color and the tone is concerned, but they're different enough. This one's a bit more peachy, this one's a bit more pinky. I love that they included a bronzer in this palette. You have a couple of all over setting powders, a highlighter, and 2 blushes that are different-ish from each other. I have this bronzer all over my face right now. It is a really nice neutral toned bronzer, not too warm, not too cool, just right in the middle. Very flattering on a lot of different complexions. Of course, if you're like medium to fair, probably. The Peachier blush is my favorite out of the two blushes that this palette has, and that is the blush that I'm wearing today. I absolutely love it. And the highlighter is pretty fabulous. I feel like when I first reviewed the palette, I was a little bit harsh on the highlighter formula. It's not bad, okay? It truly doesn't enhance my texture as much as I made it seem like it does. I'm just very critical of highlighters, and so I always call it the moment I see it. And it's not the smoothest highlighter formula I've tried, so I pointed that out, but it's also not bad. It is really beautiful, very glamorous. I'm all about this palette and how versatile the Elephant palette is. If you have a darker complexion than mine, the Tiger palette will definitely be the one for you. That one also has a fantastic color story. Unfortunately, the Butterfly palette failed us. I do not recommend that one, but if you have a fair to medium complexion, the Elephant palette is where it's at. And then tan to dark complexions can use the Tiger palette, and that one is also amazing. Moving on to a holiday eyeshadow palette that I unexpectedly love. This right here from Pat McGrath. This is the Bronze Bliss Celestial Nirvana Quint from Pat McGrath. And this palette, I'm calling it unexpected because I just didn't expect to love it as much as I do love it. Take a look at the finger swatches right there. I barely touched these shades and it has the most incredible pigment. My two favorite shades that come in this palette are these two right here. This incredible, very pigmented, extremely creamy silver is everything. And then I'm not gonna call it matte because I feel like it's more of a satin. This satin black right here, it is perfection. When I tell you that even though it looks that dark, you can blend it out to be your transition shade on your crease and be a little bit more intense right underneath, and then be really dark on the outer corner. With this one color, you can do the most. Look at how beautiful that blended right there, right? So you can have the most intense, stunning smoky eye with this little quint from Pat McGrath at such an incredible price. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, the price is like $34 to $35 for the most fantastic buttery formulas ever. I promise you, you will have no regrets. Now, you can't be scared of shimmer if you go for this one because they're intense. And since we're on the subject of intense shimmers, Adept Cosmetics launched not one, but two palettes during the past 2 months, and I am obsessed with both of them. I'm actually wearing the shimmers from one of these palettes today. Are you not obsessed with my eyeshadow right now? Because I sure am. Anyways, the palettes I'm talking about are the Adept Cosmetics Ninidrin palette and Minka palette. The Minka one sold out in like 3 minutes. You can pre-order it now and it will come to you in December. And then I'm not sure if the Ninidrin one is in stock. I think it is. Anyways, if you're interested in these, you can get 10% off using my code PATTY10. These Adept Cosmetics palettes have the most intense shimmers ever. These colors are buttery. You barely have to dip your finger in these in order to get the most amazing pigment, the most amazing shine. These come with fabulous multi-chrome shades as well. Now, each one of these palettes, as you can see, has 10 shimmers and 2 mattes. I can work with these mattes. I can blend them. They're okay. They're not my favorite matte formula I've ever tried, but you're not getting these palettes for the mattes. You're getting these palettes for the glorious, shimmery, duochrome, multi-chrome shades. Trust me on that one. What I did today, which is my favorite way of using this one, is I got shades from a different palette I'll talk about next, and then I used the shimmers from the Ninidrin palette on my eyelid. I'm wearing this shade, and this shade on my eyelid right now. I absolutely love the way it looks, and like I said, these aren't the worst mattes I've ever tried. They just take a little bit longer to blend, so I wanted something quick and I went for something different. But if you watched the videos where I created looks exclusively using these palettes, you can see that you can totally make the mattes work for you if you want to. However, the mattes are just not important. The shimmers, the duochromes, the multi-chromes, the glitters, those are the important shades in these palettes, the ones that you will fall in love with. We're going to talk about a controversial one next, and that is the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation. Controversial because I did a video reviewing it, and every comment I got in that video was, no, you're wrong. The Patrick Ta foundation sucks. It's thick, it creates texture, it makes your pores enlarged, and it doesn't work. And I disagree. I disagree. First of all, this is the foundation I'm wearing right now, and I think my skin looks pretty fabulous. I've been wearing it now for 5 hours. When I first applied it, it looked even better. I have footage of that, so check it out right here. For reference, I have very, very dry skin, and I have seen a couple other reviews of people raving about this foundation. So it's not just me that likes it. And I stand by what I said in my review video. I think it's pretty fabulous. First of all, I love the packaging. You can very easily travel with this one. You have your cream foundation and your setting powder in here. I never changed mine, so it is still a mess. It came broken. I pressed the powder back in there. And I absolutely love wearing this foundation and this powder together. I am extremely light-handed when it comes to the powder because I have dry skin, but I definitely love to combine it with the foundation because it takes some of the shine away. Anyways, like I said, I've now been wearing it for 5 hours since I first applied it. And you can see, I feel like, you know, my skin looks good. I look hydrated, my redness is covered, my forehead looks glorious as always. Can you see my little pores right here? A teeny tiny bit, but you can with pretty much any foundation. I'm never going to have a perfectly smooth surface, unfortunately, no matter how much I wish for it. So yeah, this foundation is quite fantastic. I do recommend it if you usually go for the foundations that I like this one. I have very, very dry skin and it seems to work wonders for me. So if you're interested in a cream foundation that you can very easily travel with, that it's not going to spill all over your bag, etc., I do recommend this one. I guess the powder is what you would have to be careful about, but I didn't see anybody else's powder be broken, so I think mine just suffered a very severe trauma in the Sephora box. Plus, you guys know Sephora barely protects their products, so yeah, it's bound to happen. I still love the foundation even though it's broken and ugly looking, and I just would be careful with adding too much powder. A little bit goes a very long way. I'm going to quickly talk about this one because it's definitely been a favorite as of lately. I want to put it in this video, but I feel like a broken record about it because I have mentioned it so freaking much. The Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana Big Palette. I love it, okay? I love it. It is colorful. It has an amazing color story. The formulas are wonderful. The price is fair for Pat McGrath, decent for Pat McGrath. $82, I believe it's the retail price of this one for 18 Pat McGrath shadows. Usually you get 10 for 125, so I consider it fair. Besides that, this is the first time Pat McGrath has really given us a colorful palette. I love the way these shades combine. The way that this dark blue and this green matte shade right here blend is a dream come true. They're creamy, they're soft, they're pigmented, they're colorful. They blend with such ease. I created a whole bunch of looks with this one when it came out. 8 different eyeshadow looks if I'm not mistaken. I highly recommend you check out those videos if you haven't already. And this palette definitely became an instant favorite for me. Every chance I get, I reach for it, and so of course I had to put it in this video. By the way, as per usual, everything I'm talking about in today's video will be listed and linked down below, so if you're interested in shopping for any of these products, please check out the links down there. Plus, the Sephora VIB sale is going on right now. If you're a VIB, you can get 15% off. If you're a Rouge, you can get 20% off, and majority of these products are at Sephora. So yeah, definitely check them out, and please use my links if you're shopping. Next, I have a skincare product that I have fallen in love with, and I don't often talk about eye cream on my channel because I feel like skincare is so personal and I don't know how anybody else is going to react to something that I like. Anyways, I have been deathly afraid of vitamin C for years because a couple of times, maybe a handful of times, I've gotten a pretty bad reaction to vitamin C products. So imagine my surprise when this guava vitamin C eye cream from Glow Recipe is amazing. This is kind of like a thick gel formula. My under eyes feel extremely hydrated whenever I apply it. I definitely see that they look a little bit brighter. I feel like they've been helping a bit with texture underneath my eyes since I've been consistently using it, which has been now for probably 2 to 3 weeks. I just love the way this feels under my eyes. My under eyes still feel really nice and hydrated, which I was worried about, and overall I think I'm having pretty good results with this one. So I do recommend that if you're in need of a new eye cream, this one has been really fantastic underneath my eyes. And so I wanted to put it in this video because not only do I love it, but it also has a pretty reasonable price for a high-end eye cream. So yeah, definitely check this one out as well. Next, I want to talk about the other eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes today, which is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. I made up my mind between this one and the Huda one that came out. This is my pick. This is my favorite. I decided the Huda does have a few too many repeated shades in there. So this is the one I put in this video. Today I'm only using 2 shades from this palette. I'm using Nurture and Aspiration right here on my crease just to get a really nice smoky eye going. I also put them underneath my eyes, and then the shimmers I used were from Adept Cosmetics, as I mentioned before. But anyways, this palette is absolutely fabulous. I also have done quite a few looks with this one, 7 I believe. I did a 5 looks 1 palette. I did 2 looks when I first reviewed it. The whole My Dream collection from Natasha Denona is an actual absolute dream. I absolutely love every single product in there. I have a couple more to talk about in a second, but anyways, this palette has fabulous formulas as we are used to with Natasha Denona. I love that she included a multi-chrome shade in here, and that a couple of the shimmer shades in this palette actually are shiny shimmer shades. I'm still waiting for the fabulous day when Natasha puts glittery shades in her palettes, but until that day comes, I guess this will have to do for now. I always refer to the gold palette from Natasha Denona as like my all-time favorite, the gold standard. I feel like that's the best Natasha Denona palette ever, and it's because she put the most intense glimmery shades in there, and she never puts those in any of her other palettes. But whatever, these are also pretty fabulous. And I've loved every single look that I created with this one when I used it for my 5 looks 1 palette videos. I highly recommend it. Plus, it's a palette that you can use for any occasion. You can create the most basic look with it or the most fabulous dark smoky eye. It's just truly a very versatile palette. Since we're on the subject of the Natasha Denona My Dream collection, this right here is a must-have, okay? In fact, let me take my lipstick off. I'm going to put this on. This is my favorite nude lip combo ever. And if you have the regular I Need a Nude lip liner from Natasha Denona in the shade Natasha, it's not the same as this Natasha. This Natasha, different from that Natasha. This one's a bit more cool-toned and just overall a bit more fabulous. Imagine how much I love this lip liner that this is the I Need a Nude lip liner in Natasha, which has also been a favorite of mine forever, right? And this is the size of the new Natasha in comparison, because I cannot stop using this. I love it so much. It matches any gloss or lipstick I want to put on top. I can even wear it on its own and it looks this fabulous, but my favorite way to wear it is combining it with my next favorite, which is the Natasha gloss from the Dream collection from Natasha Denona. This is the most fabulous lip combo ever, and ever since it came out, in half of the videos you've seen, I'm wearing this. Horrible application because I was talking and applying all at the same time, but just take a look at the shade. Is this not the most perfect nude lipstick you've ever seen? I love. Thank you, Natasha, for being the mastermind behind my favorite lip combo. I just love, 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 love. these right here. And I have to find out if these are limited edition, which they might be, because if they are, I definitely need to get my hands on a second one of this Natasha lip liner, which is different from the other Natasha lip liner. Definitely get them, especially now when the Sephora sale is going on. You need them. Thank me later. And no, the lip gloss doesn't last as long as a lot of other lip glosses I own, but it feels like a lip balm. So in comparison to a lip balm, it lasts just fine. I just love these, and I love lip glosses that don't feel like lip glosses, and this does not feel like a lip gloss at all. Alright, so that was it. These have been my top most favorite releases from the past couple of months. If you liked today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. If you're new to my channel, my name is Patty. I would love it if you subscribed before you leave. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye-bye.